Hello, this is Sam Simon, also known as Dementia Man, and this is my blogcast or podcast for the week of March 15th, mid-March. The Ides of March are upon us. And this week I want to give a report, and this will be really fun, so I hope you will stay tuned. I'll try to make it short enough so you have time to stay tuned, and it's going to end with a new poem. Um, but I'm going to talk about this past week. I attended the National Conference of the Eden Alternative and Dementia Action Alliance. It was in Atlanta, and I had proposed performing my play at the conference. I was a little disappointed that um, it wasn't chosen, but I think it was right. I wasn't the right program for it. And more importantly, it really gave me, and I say me, Susan always goes with me, a chance to meet a whole new group of people and programs. And I hope in the future, strong partners, or I want to be a strong partner for them in their mission and vision, which is, I think, a shared mission and vision. It's part of like what I know. It's reimagining this coming era for now. They use the term elders. Though they work in elder communities, but mainly senior living, and they do have a focus on uh, cognitive people with cognitive impairments, but not so bad that you have to be in a place, but the aging process and being elders. I love that phrase. And so I wanted to thank them publicly for supporting. They did give us a grant to go down and be part of to attend. But I'm going to give a shout out to a number of people, and I'm going to share some information about uh, some of the folks I met and about the Eden Alliance. So I'm going to right now um, talk a little bit about and see if I can the Eden Alternative, not Alliance, the Eden Alternative. Um, so they're an organization uh, that well, I will go ahead and share my background as I do this. I was debating on whether I wanted to do that or not, but let me go ahead and share this background so you too can see um, how to be in touch with them and to follow them, and maybe they have memberships open. So let me go ahead and um, share the background here. And here it is. It's going to be shared. There it is. You should be able to see it. Um, uh, I'm going to share it as a background for the moment. I think I might at least try it and see if that's the case. Oh, no, it's not going to work that way, or is it? Let's see. Okay, and let's see how that goes. Um, let's do it side by side. We'll do it side by side. There we go. Sorry for the um, little bit of delay. So the Eden Alternative, who are they? Uh, they say their mission, I love this, to improve the well-being of elders and their care partners by transforming the communities in which they live and work. So this is about supporting folks as we go through the aging. Again, I'll remind folks, 2026 is the first year that baby boomers are turning 80. Now, elders can be in their 70s too. We are en route to having the largest number of people 80 and above in the history of our country over the next few years. The Eden Alternative and their approach is critical to this future. Um, and I love their mission, and I experienced it. They are reframing how who are we, how everyone sees aging, reimagining, I love that word, reimagining care as we know it, and eliminating loneliness, helplessness, and boredom. Then this revolutionizing how we support people living with changing abilities. I've got changing abilities, folks. That's why I'm doing this. And delivering transformative education and consultation. So part of that last one was this conference, and I'm so glad I attended. And I had been, I'd heard the name, I had been unaware of them. And really did, I'm going to go into a little bit more about the number of programs and people I met, some that I didn't know about, some that I do know about. They have their own blog, they have their own podcast. And you can, the website, which I'm not sure you're seeing back there, is Eden, EDENALT .org. EDENALT.org. And they have global partners, they have a speakers bureau. They look at the employees' well-being and person-directed care, dementia care, and best practices. I'm working to try to persuade them to find a different word, cognitive decline care, but that's okay. And then the Eden membership, which I am a member. They have individual memberships now, but I'm also a member of the Dementia Action Alliance, which is now the partner. Eden Alternative have been more the professionals within the industry, and to make sure, and all credit to them, that they had a vision and a voice from those with cognitive decline. They added Dementia Action Alliance as a partner. So I'm going to stop sharing that right now. And let's see, make sure I stop sharing. There we go. Back again. So it was a great conference. So they had a variety of sessions that focused, well, one that I loved, they had one about improv. Yes, Andy. And there's a improv team from Atlanta that performs in various senior living facilities throughout the Atlanta area, as well as they have their own show, and I wish I could remember, at a club in Atlanta. Again, it just shows how energy, they didn't do it, but you can bring up it demonstrates yes and, because that's what dementia is, improv is. There are no wrong answers. You could have people in early stages, in senior living, even in a memory center, engage in the yes and process. Of course, that is also a critical tool for those who are offering the care. My buddy, I call her my buddy, Teepa Snow, who has interviewed us. She's the comment endorsing our book there, has a whole program of training staff on the yes anding with folks like me. But so who are some of the other people I met and were there? Of course, I'll start with my friends with Dangle and Dot. They're it's called Let's Dare to Do Dementia Differently. And one has early stage dementia, if you will. The other is her care partner. They're not related. So again, reimagining, you have care partner, not related to somebody. They do poetry and together and programs together. And then more importantly, demonstrate how well you can live even with the cognitive decline. Um, uh, then there is Dining with Dementia, Uncovering the Secret Sauce, and Carrie, Aalberts. She calls herself the Dementia Darling LLC. And so Dementia Darling, one word, DEMENTIA darling.com. Support and education, consulting services, things about, again, now they focus a lot of that. So I'm different on people working within the profession of elder care, whether it's folks that do visiting homes, who work inside memory units, who work inside senior living centers, and simply people who find themselves as spouses of somebody with the disease, or people like me. I learned stuff. You're going to see one of the things I learned. And then from Gainesville, I met a gentleman. It's called Beyond Dementia Coalition. And they're in Gainesville, Georgia, and they seek to reduce, again, the stigma, inspire people. So on stigma, I think I've talked about this before. You get the diagnosis. One of the people who was early on in my show, that her husband was diagnosed with early stage Alzheimer's, came home, went into his room, and never came out. That's both a figurative but a true thing. He just became so depressed and so stigmatized. And that stigma is from the community, by the way, not necessarily inside the senior living world. And he does education and awareness programs. To quote him on his card here, to recognize, engage, assist, and ultimately embrace people living with dementia as valued and beloved members of the community. You know, Susan and I, later today, are going to go sign up to go into a senior living community, in part because how isolated we feel now without being inside a more, it's not institutionalizing, but it's a condominium style place, but it's a senior living, in part to get closer into community and not feeling as isolated. So there are places like that. Now, a lot of this is Atlanta, or people from Atlanta. There are people from all over the country. There was a lawyer. I love it. We ran into him literally in the hall. I'll even mention the name. He's out of New York. Joseph Ranni does senior living, senior law around senior living and respect for people with the disease. And he resonated with me on there's this campaign to eliminate the word dementia and instead cognitive disorders, because of the stigma that dementia. I loved running into people, and we knew people together. And then there's the radical sabbatical. And, part of this isn't just us, but it's the care partner and the worker who need the resilience and the time off and the training and the ability to learn and love what they do and the people they work with. And then there are folks who are working on walks in dementia. So there are all sorts of people. We had a great time, but what among them, I'm looking here to see if there's any cards that I've missed. much of this, again, I'm repeating myself, are for those who work in the senior living world. And a number of gerontologists, and how could I forget? Um, University of Nevada, DER community, the Dementia Education um, and Research Program, the DEAR program. And look what I got on. I'm going to show it because, but to show it, I'm going to have to get rid of my background for a moment here. Let me get rid of the chat here. That's what I want to do. Well, let's see if I can do this. Yeah, here. The Dementia Self-Management Guidebook. It's the DEAR program. You can get it online. Now, this is the second edition, and I am listed in it as one of the advisors. There's a bio of me in it. It's but a brand new version. It's available for download at no cost, and it is a great resource. And again, the Dementia Friendly Nevada works on it, and the Dementia Education Program, and advisory team includes Jim Loane, Chuck McClatchy, Nancy Nelson. Nancy was at the conference, myself, Barbara Stockton, and Yvonne Sweeten. These are all now buddies of mine. You Google dementia self-engagement, and you'll come up with access to finding this program. So I was delighted to get my copy of the second edition of something I worked on. So there you go. But what I love most of all, no, I don't know. So I hate to do all this comparison. And this is the last item. There was one of the exercises, and I forget which room we were in. I think they had Dementia Darling, I'm not sure. We were given words and asked to words of out of some sort of famous play or something, and they said organize the words into a poem, any poem you want to. And you know something? I give myself the award for the best poem because I love what I wrote, and that's evidence of by being non-judgmental, welcoming in an environment where everybody is in some ways all on the same page and friends, and knowing how to do that with a diverse group of people we've never met before. And so I wrote a poem. I'm going to see if here it is. This is I put these words together. I cut them up myself. And the poem is The Soul Sings. That's the name of it. The soul sings the tune heard in hope and never stops. The soul sings the tune heard in hope and never stops. So check out, there are Eden alternative supported and branded, I don't know, the branded communities throughout the US. They're listed on their website. You have the website name. DAA.org is Dementia Action Alliance. They have Zoom workshops almost every 3 or 4 times a week, and engage people with disease. They help the Eden Alliance bring also not just the voice of those working in the business, but of those who need the help. So I hope you find this interesting. I hope I didn't talk too long, and we'll be talking to you all next week.